that have been given to you, and your it was either that or it was going to be a roadhouse, and we thought, how do we get slop chips and a burger onto a tray in the window? So we thought that the traditional car snacks would be a thing to do. But yeah, tonight is changes and enhancements to the particularly the Vitality Drive and the Insure product that we'll just be going through with you. We'll touch base on some of the changes that have come through. And the popcorn is on the floor, just like a movie house. Don't worry about it, Leslie. It looks like it's part of the carpet. So we will be discussing some of the changes. Make it interactive, ask us questions. You're not going to derail us. We will be having questions at the end. Again, it's just to give you some insight into the shared value. And with that, Lindsay and I are going to be talking tonight. So we'll be sort of like taking it slide by slide and seeing how we go. And where we start with all of our presentations of late is to actually look at our whole process. We are certified financial planners. Lindsay is graduated earlier in the year. So both CFPs and, fully licensed with the Financial Planning Institute, which I think is extremely important when you are looking for a financial advisor. And we create and protect wealth. That is primarily what our job is. Obviously, we use the Discovery solutions to mitigate the risk that we would have, to assist us in creating and building your wealth, using all of the investments that are available on the Discovery platform that are doing incredibly well, as is the whole market at the moment is doing well. So it's really great to be sitting with clients and showing them positive returns on their investments, and very close to double digits, if not in the double digits. So it really is a great space. Invest, life, below the lines, wills, trusts, estate planning, etc. And then the value add protection that comes in with the risk on not only the life side, but on the health side, and then obviously on the insure side as well, cars, etc., and all of those, the assets, etc. So we are, as we say, Candid 2020, go check us out on the website, go follow us on social media so that you stay abreast of some of the changes that do happen. A lot of clients say, but I didn't know. And unfortunately, sometimes there's just too much information, emails that we don't know what so we try and put it onto social media, etc. But tonight we're here to talk about Insure, and we're here to talk about Vitality Drive, and we'll move on with the Insure side of it to start with. What is Insure? We're looking at a business that was launched in 2011. There have been lots of awards that were given in the early days in terms of the innovation, using all of the actuarial experience and figures and numbers to create a product that disrupted the market and has changed a lot of how insurance actually happens, and some of the benefits that some of our competitors are coming to the party with to try and be, to compete with us. We were the first in the market to understand driver behavior and the risks thereof, and incentivize people to drive better. Our payoff line is creating a nation of better drivers. And that's what the whole modus operandi behind the Vitality Drive is there for. We've also got to be aware of the fact that insurance companies as a whole, all the way around the world, are under huge pressure at the moment. There's been so many natural disasters of late that unfortunately have caused a lot of claims that haven't been factored into the equation from a costing perspective. And unfortunately, we're all feeling that in terms of some of the increases. In some instances, there's particular vehicles that Discovery won't insure because it's just not a case of if it gets stolen, it's when it's going to get stolen. So unfortunately, those need to be priced high in order to protect the book as a large, and try and see if we can manage the cost rates of it. But there's also been a lot of good that's come through. Pothole patrol, I'm sure you guys will have heard all of that, seen that. I've also been informed that there's a pothole academy where now there are people that are being trained to fix the potholes so that they can actually be spread out to go and fix potholes on a larger scale. So quite an interesting set of developments there.
And also our signature fire brigade, which I know personally helped with a house in Hurlingham that was basically burning to the ground effectively, and they managed to come with a very quick time response. So yeah, a lot of good work there.
Interesting initiatives to try and protect the book. You know, the pothole brigade was there to stop claims on tires and accidents. Fires, trying to get to them quicker and easier to try and protect the book as a large. So sometimes it's quite important to understand some of the dynamics that come through from it. In fact, Discovery Insure, and the slide talks to the growth that we have. You can see the blue graph showing the growth over the number of years in comparison to our competitors. So certainly making good inroads into the insurance market.
And I think just to add on there, making Discovery Insure sustainable, that you'll see is quite a big theme with insurance companies. How do they remain sustainable and be able to pay all these claims that they are receiving?
What do we cover? This screen doesn't look too good, but just to sort of, hopefully it's a little bit clearer on your side, not so much, but we'll go through it. Looking at vehicles, obviously there is a large component to the vehicles on it. We have comprehensive car insurance, third-party fire and theft. We have the ability to add benefits on, for example, looking at retail booster, giving you the opportunity to know that if your car is written off and it's in a certain time period, that we'll boost the value. Write-off accelerator, giving you the peace of mind that if your vehicle is in an accident within a certain period at a certain level, that we'll replace it with a like for like, which I've personally had with one of my friends. And it was just an absolutely phenomenal experience to see. So very much knowing what your needs are, what your budget is from that insurance, and then making sure that we find a solution or a product in it no, Sharon, it wasn't yours. It was another friend.
And I think just to add on there, we obviously cover a wide range of different personal household items and things like that. But it is a joint responsibility to let us know, you know, I've just gone and I bought this new cell phone. Hopefully the new enhancements to the Discovery Insure app, which is coming, will mitigate a little bit of that. But there is a joint responsibility to make sure everything is covered properly and adequately.
Looking at portable possessions, as Lindsay is alluding to, the cell phones, jewelry, does it need to be specified? Is it going to be covered under the all risk side of it? Looking at motorcycles, home contents, building. So there are various aspects to the insurance that actually can be incorporated in your policy, and in all likelihood is incorporated in your policy.
Sorry, can I just ask a question? Is it portable possessions? Does it also cover cell phones or smartphones?
So yes, portable possessions is anything you'd be taking out of the home.
Okay.
Each plan has a different way that it's covered. We'll touch base on that in one of the future further slides, but in some instances they need to be specified, in others not. So it's very important that if you do want a cell phone to be specified and to be covered, that we're aware of it, to go, yes, tick, it is under this section of your cover.
Okay, thanks.
As we've said, quite a lot of additional benefits that's not typically known to your car insurance. Car hire embedded in most of our plans. We have the opportunity to upgrade the car hire from 30 days to 60 days, but that comes at a cost, and we need to know about it. We also have the opportunity to say you're not wanting necessarily the stock standard car rental. Perhaps you want an automatic or something a bit bigger. You have the opportunity of upgrading that benefit. But again, we need to know about it, and it comes at an additional cost. You don't need it until you need it. Everybody goes, oh, 30 days is great. The reality with COVID and all of the problems we had, spare parts weren't coming in fast enough. The delay with the roads and the transport and the docks and the customs all create delays. So if you've got that protection, it's very nice to have.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of claims taking longer than 30 days, vehicle claims, obviously depending on the severity of the damage, but you don't want to be in a position where your car hires run out. So it is quite a nice thing just to add on for an extra 50 Rand a month.
Sorry, do you mind if I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Okay, regarding the extended car hire, normally it's about 30 days. What is your experience? Let's say, for example, your car gets stolen and you need a hiring car. From your experience, how long will it take to either find the car or whatever? How long do you think you would need a car actually to hire
So
after you are stolen? Is it
no
30 days enough, or do you have to extend it to
for a stolen car? It's very simple and easy. It's stolen, it's gone. We can replace very quickly.
Okay.
Car keys, etc., and all of those things. So 30 days for a stolen car is usually more than adequate.
Okay. Right.
It's where you have a problem, the hail damage, for example.
Okay.
It all happened in November last year. Suddenly, overnight, we had all of these cars that needed to go into panel beaters. Some went in, even though they didn't necessarily need to be in. We had holidays. We had such an excess of cars needing to be repaired. 30 days was not long enough. So it's very hard to say. If you're concerned, you want to have it, it's an available extra additional that can be very beneficial. Okay, warranty plan is also available on the short-term insurance product, giving you protection in the event of certain events of your vehicle being in disrepair. Lots of T's and C's to consider, but we find this to be a very comprehensive product in the market. And again, if you have an older car, but not necessarily too old, so any cars that are younger than 10 years and have certain mileage limitations to it, we can certainly look to put a warranty in place. And we all know that a broken gearbox can be very expensive and pricey and not actually give you. So reach out to us and let us know on the warranty plan.
And some also nice benefits there, depending on your Vitality Drive status. You can get 50% off on your car service with Bosch and Motus. So some nice extra benefits there if you do have a car that is obviously out of its normal warranty, mechanical warranty.
We have different plan types. We have a core, we have essential. Core is very new. Very basic and simple, no bells and whistles for want of a better term, no car hire, no cashbacks on your fuel, etc. So something that can be very comparable to what the rest of the market is offering. But we all know that Discovery comes in to disrupt, to change, to get people to think and view it differently. And that's where our essential, our classic and our purple plan become quite important to know. What happens with the different plan type is that you would have different limits and you would have different excesses. So quite important to know that on your classic plan, you would have a slightly lower excess than the essential plan. Our limits on our classic plan would be slightly higher. And we have a very nice simple document that shows you what is the limits for cars, for keys needing to be replaced, etc. So we'll have a limit and then you can see, does your car fit into that category? If so, obviously then to pick up some of the savings does make some sense.
I think something also worth mentioning is on your classic plan. If you are under the age of 55, you've got an excess, but Discovery will waive your excess for weather-related damage and damage due to theft, hijacking. If you're over the age of 55, no excess.
So what we're going to ask you all to do is go and find all of your friends that are turning 55 and go and say to them, Discovery are giving you a gift today, no excess on your car claims if you are the driver in that car in that time. Excesses are increasing slightly towards the end of the year. They'll come in on the 1st of December. We have plans and ways to mitigate that excess. And obviously, if you're over 55, zero, and under 55, it's only in the event of an accident that has been as a result of your you're doing, or an uninsured driver. So those are the excesses that are going to be changing from the 1st of December.
We also just wanted to give you a little bit of a breakdown on how to access your policy information. So we have a nice screen recording here. So, I'm just going to stop it there.
So I think what we want to highlight on that slide is that all of the information is accessible to you. It's on the website, it's on the app. If you wake up in the middle of the night and go, what's my insurance value on my, whatever it might be, my contents, you can go and check it. We try to make as information as accessible to you as possible. We're obviously here to help and support when we need to, but sometimes it's nice to know where to find the information. Shared value is very much what Discovery is all about. You know that we have a vitality. You would have seen in one of our previous slides that we have vitality with health. We have vitality with drive, and we have vitality with money. So everybody goes, but I'm at diamond status. And we go, but which vitality? So we have 3 vitalities and you're tracking each one of them, and it's behavioral. Checking to see if you've done the healthy things on Vitality Health, checking to see if you're looking after your finances on Vitality Money, and then checking to see what your driving style is on the Vitality Drive side. We're going to focus on Vitality Drive. So if you can sort of think and logically go through that, still the same process, moving from blue, bronze, silver, gold to diamond. In fact, it's been such a beneficial program, powerful program, that health has gone around the world. Vitality, that program, gone into over 26 countries, from the Far East through to the US. And Vitality Drive has gone international too, launching out into various countries and utilizing similar technology and similar behavioral measures that we manage and measure here in South Africa. So quite interesting to hear that it's being accepted and well received across the borders. Vitality Drive in action, these stats are all from the beginning of 2024. So we can see that there's been over 85 million that has been paid back in the form of fuel cashback, miles that have been earned, over 700 million miles, which is absolutely massive and mind-blowing. And you can see the stats there that speak for themselves, and Lindsay can go through them because my eyesight, I'm going, okay, what is that?
I'm jumping to the next page. 3.3 million saved on premiums through our guaranteed increase on diamond drivers. So again, maybe something just to reiterate is, if you can maintain diamond Vitality Drive status, you will not have, for the 12 months, you will not have an increase on your vehicle premium. So that's 3.3 million rands worth of savings on that. You've got over 21 million for new tires purchased through the Insure Funder account at Tiger Wheel and Tire. So remembering that you actually get discount at Tiger Wheel and Tire as well, depending on your Vitality Drive status. So quite a lot of nice benefits there.
Sometimes Tiger Wheel and Tire. With the discount.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's very important to shop around, but it's also very important to know that you do qualify for the discount to be able to go and check that out.
Especially if you have a sizable Insure Funder account, because you can actually make use of that Insure Funder account. And just as a reminder, the Insure Funder account is where you can channel your cashbacks into, and Discovery matches what your cashback is. And that just accumulates until you swap it back and have the cashback come back to your pocket.
We'll elaborate a little bit more on that shortly in one of our future slides, but just to show that the Vitality Drive, the cashbacks, the fuel discounts are tangible. And we personally have had first-hand experience of that on the Vitality Drive side. How does it work? Everybody goes, I don't want Discovery tracking me. And I hear you. I mean, it's certainly something to consider. Having said that, I know that if I'm driving down, Uranium, I think it is, heading down towards Foyways Gardens, I'm extremely thankful to have Vitality Drive in my car because it makes me go slower. And if not, I'd be one of those poor people that are actually arrested, put in the back of a van and taken away because you're driving over the speed limit. I've witnessed it on a Sunday afternoon and it's heartbreaking. I've had clients who've had that happen. So every time I look at my speedometer and I realize I'm speeding, I want my points. And I'm very thankful that I don't need to sit in a jail cell. So yes, it does make you think differently. It does allow you the opportunity to actually just be aware of how you are driving. We'll argue the point that sometimes it's tracking the speeding incorrectly and it's giving you points because you went over a speed bump, etc. The reality is 90%, 99, 95% of the time it's correct. What we're doing is we're giving you a certain amount of points at the beginning of each day. Depending on what type of tracking device you have, up to 60 points is given, and then we deduct for bad behavior. So if I'm speeding, maybe 4 points come off. If I've had harsh acceleration, harsh braking, harsh cornering, maybe another 4 points, etc. It's almost impossible to get to zero.
I got it.
I was going to say, I have once as well on a long distance.
There is always one.
Yes. And then it goes down to 60 yards.
Yeah. However, having said that, more often than not.
I still got to gold that month, so anything's possible.
And each day you start afresh. So if you have had one bad day, you're not penalized for the entire month. So we give you those points. We deduct for certain bad behaviors. We give you additional points for taking your car to Tiger Wheel and Tire and having the road safety check so that we can know that you are aware of what the safety and the roadworthiness is of your vehicle. And then those points at the end of the month all add up to establish what cash back you would be entitled to on your fuel spend. There are certain T's and C's. We're here to answer all of those and give you a good guideline on it. Essentially, it's limited to the premium of your vehicle, excluding VAT. So if my premium is 1,000, subtract the VAT, 915, whatever it might be, and I can then qualify up to 50% of that back, or my points, whichever is the lower. So I'll then get my points. Dean's shaking his head, so I've clearly got it wrong.
Yeah, it's turned. Yes, the cash back.
Up to 1.5. Premium is 900. You can get that.
I'll play back because I'm sure that's what I said, but
Steve saying no.
so there is limits and T's and C's that apply to that. So you're trying to get as many points as you possibly can. The calculation will happen in the background. And depending on what your Vitality Drive status is, being anything from blue to diamond, gives you a broken down percentage dependent on your plan type. And what your Vitality Drive status is, you'll then qualify from anything from 2.5% up to 50% of your points or your fuel spend back in cash. That cash that we're talking about, that 50%, what have we got? Our premium. We've got our points that we've earned, and we've got our spend at our fuel providers, Shell and BP. Those three have an influence on how much cash back you're going to be getting. Put in your petrol, swipe your loyalty card at Shell and BP, drive as well as you possibly can, earn as many points as you can, and the cash back will be calculated and paid into your excess funder account, and that amount is doubled. Into your bank account if you do not have Discovery Miles, or into your Discovery Miles account if you have a bank account with Discovery.
So you have to have a bank account with Discovery.
No.
That's what I was trying to
So into your bank account, so if you bank with Nedbank, we'll pay the 50% into your Nedbank bank account. If you have a Discovery bank account, we will pay it into your miles account in your Discovery bank account. So no, you don't have to have a Discovery bank account. I'd argue that you should, because you're getting the miles, and those miles are worth so much more than rands. And then it just makes it even better and compounds the value. Hilary.
Yeah, surely on a no drive day, why do you not get 60 points?
It takes an average of your points.
Oh, okay.
So it takes an average day. It can't give you a perfect score.
Because if that were the case, you would park your car in the driveway all the time. You'd perhaps switch off your Bluetooth to say that you hadn't driven your car, but you had. So there, it's just to try and prevent and also just to equal it out.
We've just been on quite a long road. Shell and BP, very scarce.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go on the east side of the country, once you get into that Kalahari region and start going south, there ain't no Shell and BP. Shell is becoming even less because a lot of them are shutting down.
So
In the same boat.
So what does happen is in some of the areas where there are no Shell and BPs, Discovery will accept till slips to prove. They'll check that there aren't.
Yeah.
So if there genuinely isn't any in that area, they will give you the benefit of the doubt. So you can actually submit those slips. And we have people in outlying areas where there isn't, and they do. They actually give them back from the other service providers.
Yeah.
However,
Shirley, you can actually manually upload it, or you can upload it onto your profile as well. The slips.
Also, sorry, while you're traveling, sometimes I don't say it's one of the points. You can, and then all BP stuck around underneath. The middle of town and it's not on the highway. Sometimes.
Yeah, no, we
Like
took
Harrismith, then you're gonna go around Harrismith and then Harrismith.
Often there is nothing, and then now you've got some very, very strange brands coming up. I mean, you drive past and think, what the heck is Puma? What is this? What is that? Don't even know what they are.
look, never say never. Checkers is a new partner on the Vitality. Maybe as life evolves and things change, who knows?
I'm sure they're probably considering options.
But it is definitely, it will be considered, and obviously try as best as possible to use it. We have a real life case scenario here. So one of our own, using the stats, and just to give you an indication, this is a vehicle, the premium of the vehicle is plus minus R1,000. And here we can see that this individual is actually getting 647 Rand and 86 cents back on cash into her miles account on her drive. Vitality Diamond, spending at BP and Shell, keeping everything up to date with Tiger Wheel and Tire, and doing what she needs to, and getting 647 Rand back on a monthly basis. And this is an average. We didn't choose one good month. We can see if we track and go back. So we actually took one of our clients, used the information, and so it's real. It's not airy-fairy stuff. And I'm sure if you sit around afterwards and ask some questions, you'll realize what you could be qualifying for. How do they check their points? She could have the opportunity of 3,000, 2,721 points,
I'd say.
diamond status. And you can see that the driving points that's been earned, the claims free for 3 years, the driving at night, trying to stay off the roads at a dangerous time, driving distance, limiting it, and then obviously doing the Tiger Wheel and Tire. So it's very easy for you to actually see where you're losing your points and potentially to go, well, you know what it is, or try and change your behavior where you can.
What happens if you drive at night?
You would just not earn the 300 points. So you would have a few points that would be deducted for that.
Only after 11 p.m. and before 4:30 a.m. Yeah.
So you know those hours when your parents said bad things happen? Maybe that's what they were alluding to.
It's a favorite stuff.
So that's just to give you an indication, and all of this information is available on your website and on your app. It's there for you to see at any point in time. Let's have a look at some of the enhancements that are coming through.
We've got some new benefits launching. So the Vitality Car Rating, which we will obviously dive into all of this in more detail. Discovery Insure is launching a scratch and dent cover. There's also some changes to the Drive Me benefit, which is our Uber discounts and roads, what do you call it? Road trip, I think it is.
Drive Me Homes.
Yes, those kind of things. The excesses we've spoken about already, but there are some benefit fee increases and a new Discovery Insure app that is launching. So as I'm sure you're well aware, Discovery is all about data. Discovery loves data. Just as a side note, this data cannot be used against you in a claim event. So, plead the fifth. So the data that we're collecting, or that Discovery is collecting, is actually to incentivize and reward for good behavior. So Discovery Insure has got an incredible amount of data based on the behavior of your driving and how that can affect your vehicle health. We are always a force for innovation. So we're always the first in the market to launch anything when it comes to innovation in the short-term insurance industry. And I think I've said that, but how do we track this data and information? Discovery Insure has developed 2 telematics devices. So we have one, which is our signature crowd search device. This has a stolen vehicle recovery benefit linked to it, so effectively a tracker. What is amazing about this device is that it has its own power source. So it works off kinetic energy. It is not connected to your battery. So most of your traditional trackers, like Tracker, Car Track, whatever they might be, they've got a power source that goes through to the battery, and unfortunately, the people who've stolen your car know exactly how to disconnect that. So this device has got its own power source, and it works off the signal of cell phones. So it actually kind of, I don't want to say beeps off, but that's how we can track and monitor your location. So that is our preferred device. We also have the DQ Track, which is the little white device in the middle there, which you would have stuck on your windscreen, and that also monitors your driving behavior. There's no stolen vehicle recovery with that benefit. So you are able to see your vehicle, obviously, and where it's going, but there's no recovery benefit attached to that.
No.
So again, it's all about data. Discovery's got incredible insights in terms of how you drive and how that actually affects the health of your vehicle. So for example, someone who accelerates very harshly, that can put a lot of wear and tear on your engine. Cold starts. So if you're going from 0 to 100, again, not good for your engine. Harsh cornering, maybe not good for your suspension, etc. So Discovery's collated a lot of this information, and what do we do with this information? So we can actually try and pass on some benefits back to the client based on good driving. So again, just from the data that they've collected, in terms of breakdown claim frequencies, we can see that someone who's considered a poor driver has 28% more chance of having that mechanical breakdown. High accidental damage claims also shows a close link to mechanical breakdowns. And low mileage is also a benefit to the health of your car. It's obviously not being on the roads as much. So there's quite a lot of nice data that we're collecting based on our ethos, which is creating a nation of better drivers. What Discovery Insure have also seen is that the second-hand market on vehicles is growing astronomically, especially in South Africa. The price of vehicles is becoming incredibly expensive. So I think then the corner it says 3.6 times more used vehicle registrations per month on average than brand new vehicle registrations, when we're seeing a lot of second-hand car swaps. So people trading in their second-hand car for another second-hand car, a relatively new second-hand car, not one that is 10 years old, a time frame of about 3.5 years. When we trade in our cars, the dealership looks at exterior, a little bit of the interior, but not massively or thoroughly, service history, and obviously industry reports on the vehicle that you get. That's a very flat analysis that they do to judge, okay, this is the value of your car. You can't say, you know, I'm retired, I haven't driven very far, look how low the mileage is, I've never been in an accident, etc., etc. You can only tell them that at face value. What Discovery is able to do is give that information. They can tell how many accidents the vehicle has been, what kind of parts have been replaced, what is your driving behavior, and how would that have impacted on the structure of your car, your engine, your suspension, etc. So what Discovery has launched is something called Vitality Car Rating. This can boost your trade-in value by up to 15%. How the Vitality Car Rating works is there is a scoring system. So depending on various matrices, which I think is in the next slide, they look at your driving behavior, claims history, and those kind of elements. And depending what your score is, you actually get a rating. So if you have a 5-star rating, you get a 15% boost on your trade-in.
Which partners?
So our partners are Wheelie and then Motus, which owns many franchises. So your Fords, Toyotas, all of those. So effectively, this is launching in December, but effectively on the new Discovery app, you'll be able to get this Vitality Car Rating certificate that you can provide to one of the service providers. So we're quite excited about that. Further rewarding our good drivers, because like I said, there's no way to prove, you know, I'm a really good driver, my car's in great condition, etc., etc. We can either say yay or nay. Yeah. So over 300 dealerships representing over 30 brands, including Mercedes, Audi, Lexus. So in terms of details, in creating your point structure, they look at a large majority of your claim history, acceleration, braking, cornering, speeding. That would be an average over your lifetime with Discovery Insure, and open road driving. So long distances, etc., etc.
All the T's and C's will obviously be there and available. And as it comes closer to the time of launching, we'll share those with you, and they'll always be available on the website.
So that's launching 1st of December. We also are launching a scratch and dent cover. So this will be an added extra with an additional premium, where you can have cover up to 5,000 Rand for scratches and dents, which can be boosted depending on your Vitality Drive status. So if you have a good Vitality Drive status and you're on Diamond, your cover is actually boosted to 6,250 from 5,000. There will be strict pre-inspections, obviously, so that you can't claim on a scratch from 3 years ago. But again, with the T's and C's, we'll always be here to answer any questions and give you this information in more detail.
And in true Discovery style, just when you get to know one app, they'll launch a new one. A new improved Insure app will go live on the 1st of December. We hope that it'll iron out some of the little bugs that we do have on the Insure app. And it'll be very interesting to be able to monitor that, be able to track your car, see where you're losing points, and obviously get lots of tips, roadside assistance on it if necessary, reporting of accidents and claims, doing your pre-inspection, etc. So a lot of benefit that comes through on the Insure app of just staying in touch and knowing what's happening and coming through.
And I think there you can instantly add items. So let's say on Saturday or Sunday, maybe you can't get through to us, you can quickly add that cell phone just by taking a photo.
This re-inspection, how much does that cost?
So the pre-inspection for the scratch and dent cover, we don't have a cost on it yet, but I'm sure it's actually just using the app, taking photos of your car, or going to Tiger Wheel and Tire. So as mentioned, there are a few changes to the Drive Me benefit. This is mostly for people, I think, who use Uber a lot, which I am one of them, that the Uber discounts will now, and the road trip and scooter angels will now be at a certain time period. So from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., as those are considered the most dangerous times to be driving on the road. And going back to why this benefit was put in place is to discourage people from nighttime driving and rather using public transport or, not drinking and driving especially. And that is those changes are coming into effect on the 1st of November. We also just have some updates on the distance points. So people who do drive far every day, from Pretoria to Sandton, let's say, they were being quite heavily penalized for that. Now, what Discovery Insure has created is a table based on your Vitality Drive status and your distance. So if you are driving very far, but you can maintain a Diamond Drive status, the penalty is not as severe as it was. So again, just enabling you more of a chance to keep your Diamond Vitality Drive status. Some benefits that are coming to an end. Our Vitality Drive 65 benefit is ending. That will be terminated from the 1st of November 2025. So still giving existing members the chance to earn their 65 plus cashback benefit when it's their policy anniversary time. And our chatback benefit is also ending. This was a benefit where you could get a discounted rate on renewing your driver's license. There just didn't seem to be as much as an uptake to make it a permanent fixture.
Why is it ending?
There's actually also been some changes to the way that the licensing happens. So as a result of that, it's not viable for them to continue with doing the license as they did in the past.
So what's the difference going to be?
So in the past, you could actually ask Discovery Insure to do the license on your behalf. Now that unfortunately is no longer. So the way you've been doing it, very few people took it up as an option and a benefit. So sadly, if you did, it's no longer available, but you will continue to license your vehicle the way you would use to. And then in true anniversary spirit, sadly, we do have some fees going up in terms of the Vitality Drive. And I think it's just important again to know what plan you're on. Most of the people in the room are on a classic or a purple plan. So your Vitality Drive will go up to 105 Rand per month from next year onwards, from the 1st of January. So all from that's going up, from the 1st of October 2020.
1st of October, but it's also based on your policy anniversary. So any new people that join will obviously pay the new rate from 1st of October, but it will also be linked to anniversaries.
So what's tonight all about? Tonight was an opportunity to go back and just have a look at the Insure policy. How can you maximize it? We're here to obviously hold your hand. We have a very nice table that we use. Lesedi, Lindsay, Lisa, put all this information in. What is your current premium on your vehicle? What is your current Vitality Drive status? Have you done your Tiger Wheel and Tire check? Have you got your fuel card linked to your cashbacks? We are here to help and guide you. We want to remind you of those so that you can be getting all of the benefits and not wake up like I did today and went, oh, my Tiger Wheel and Tire is expired. That's why I didn't get the cashbacks last month. My cashbacks on the fuel goes into my miles account. Those miles account on my Discovery bank account are priceless. I love the 15th of the month to be buying and getting a 30% discount using money that's been given back to me. It just is an absolute no-brainer. So linking your short-term insurance into your bank account, maximizing your discount on your life policy with your bank account, that whole integration model is what we're here to help and guide you with. We wanted to just go through the points, so please go and check. Tiger Wheel and Tyre done. Swiping at BP and Shell, having the card linked. Driving as best as you possibly can, spending your active rewards and playing the game board on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, checking your miles in your bank account to make sure that you've received your money, and then smiling all the way to the bank. But we wanted to just take the opportunity just to have those action points front of mind. And we will pop out an email tomorrow just to actually remind you, and then let you know that if you need to reach out and we can help and assist you with that.
Sorry, why did they change the cashback to the policyholder, not to the dedicated driver? For 2 vehicles on the policy.
So if it's miles, it should go to the driver.
Used to. Now,
It should.
for each vehicle, there's a dedicated driver of one and policyholder. I'm the dedicated driver of the other vehicle. I used to get my mom, she used to get her mom. Now she gets all of them.
Oh, good.
Go shopping.
I can transfer them back to on the 50.
I now understand the question. I'm not sure, Mike, it's something that we could ask. I wasn't aware that that had changed.
Everyone's got the same shape.
Has it happened? Okay.
Us too.
Aha.
Those to them.
At least there's one happy person in the
couple.
family. I'm not sure, Mike. I'd need to actually find out.
Because the one guy ended up moaning and fighting with Discovery, and they said, no, but you got to pay. I said, it was him, man.
Okay.
Then you know,
We'll find out. Estelle, if you can make a note and check that. Good point.
How do you get into Vitality Drive card?
Tiger Wheel and Tyre, they have all of the cards and they make sure that it's linked to your Discovery profile. So it's a loyalty card. It's not a credit card as such.
Do I get it from them?
From Tiger Wheel and
Is it a
Tyre.
physical card?
It's a physical card.
It's this, it looks like that. It's a blue card. So you get the card when you have your telematics device fitted at
Yes.
Tiger Wheel and Tyre.
Yeah.
They should have given you a blue card if you're on the Discovery of the Vitality Drive benefit.
So if you stop in and ask them, they should be able to give you one. And if you get stuck, reach out to us and
Yeah.
we'll make a plan and get one for you.
Send us a picture of the back of the or of the front, wherever the number is, and then we can load it for you. Link it to your profile.
This tracker that you're talking about, not the little one in the middle,
Mhm.
but where do you get that tracker from? And
So that will have to be added to your policy because there is an additional fee for that stolen vehicle recovery benefit. So at the moment it's 125. I think it's going up to 155 per month. And that you have fitted at Tiger Wheel and Tyre as well.
And where do they fit?
They don't tell us.
Everywhere it's somewhere different.
Somewhere in the.
they
Yeah.
will come to you.
They've stopped.
Have they?
They've stopped that.
Because they're good at Discovery building.
So there is
In the
fitment
Discovery.
centres at
Yeah.
Discovery in Sandton, Tiger Wheel and Tyre.
Mhm.
And I think what's important is that the significance of that device is, in my opinion, the points, one section. The other is high impact collision. They will phone if there is a high impact. If you don't answer, they'll dispatch emergency vehicles to get to you in the golden hour. If you get stuck on the highway at 3 o'clock in the morning because you're going to Cape Town or whatever the case is, they'll be able to pick up that you have got stuck. So that relaying of information, in fact, at one stage, they said they had an 80% accuracy on whether the car was being hijacked or not, by just the change in the driving behavior. And I was testament to that. When I drove my car, it was all fine. As soon as Skeen got in the car and went hell for leather, we got the phone call. Are you okay? And so it's the safety features of that tracking device far outweigh, in my opinion, the the simplicity of just getting the points.
Sorry, Shirley, there was another device that they used to fit that you didn't need your phone to pick up your driving habits. It's not that impactful.
Yeah, it's a C-Track. So we partnered with C-Track. That's the old school type of tracker that they install in your car. We are steering away from that because of the battery connection. So those old devices still need to be linked to the battery to create power. Cloud search, you don't. So we find it more effective for the stolen vehicle recovery benefit. The crowd search device, obviously.
One thing we have missed in the session is to remind you to put proof of ownership in the vault. We have a vault that is available on your website, on your app. And if you go in there, you'll see your laptop is loaded there if it is itemized, your cell phone, your watch, your ring, your whatever it may be. And if you put a proof of ownership of that up in the vault, at time of claim, there is no excess payable. So a really big benefit that's important for people to be aware of. And then to go back to that shared responsibility of at anniversary time for us to sit together to go, is your property insured correctly? Do you have the correct amount of contents cover? Averaging is a very sad thing when it comes time for a claim of a contents claim. So we have to sit with you on an anniversary stage, make sure that all the T's and the T's are crossed, I's are dotted. There's a lot of information, but when we send it, it really is valuable. And we know nobody reads it. We did an experiment and we sent out an email to our clients with an anniversary and asked them to read through the document, to come back to us and share with us information. And halfway through, not a long list of points, it said, and please call us to receive a 5% discount on your commission. And we did not receive one phone call. So
80 emails.
80.
So we now know that our emails are not always read, but I think I'm speaking to the converted because you're here tonight. So, but it is a shared value, a shared responsibility for us to check on that. We're here to hold your hand, and we certainly want to help you where we can. We've had our Vitality Day. Vitality Day was last month or earlier in the month, and some exciting changes coming through. We'll be sharing those with you in our next last Thursday of the month club. We'll be talking through Discovery Health, the changes that are coming through for 2025. Unfortunately, the increases to the health membership, and then the updates that will be coming through for Vitality Bank, for Vitality and our partners across the board. Insure, we've obviously shared tonight. Nice new partners coming in for travel, United Airlines, giving discounts there. So some nice things. I have to tell you all, he works for Discovery.
You wouldn't say.
So, but our next Thursday, last Thursday of the month club will be on the 31st of October. Discovery Health going through that in a lot of detail. Lindsay and Estelle will be doing that. And then just to say thank you again for being with us, spending some time supporting us, giving us the opportunity to give you back those miles, those discounts, the fuel cashbacks, etc. We appreciate your support. We're here to answer any questions. And yeah, thank you. Please send all of your family and friends that need to be getting these discounts too, because at the end of the day, it's how we grow our business is through word of mouth. And we appreciate the referrals. So thank you. Any questions?
Yes,
Estelle, if I may, sorry, it's
Go
on,
for it.
and we're dialing in, so apologies for that. But just quickly on checkers being added to the health purchases, can you quickly just take us through the process to get them onto our system on our side?
So for checkers, you will log into the Discovery website. The main member needs to select the preferred partner. So the main member must log into the Discovery website. You click on Vitality, and then under Vitality, there should be a healthy food section. If you click there, you can see where the checkers has been selected as your preferred partner. For some, it was automatic, but you are able to change it once a year. So for most people who were on Pick and Pay, it's automatically become checkers.
I think, Zan, just to elaborate, it's under the rewards section. Under rewards, you have the healthy foods benefit. And then under the healthy foods, you have a choice for an in-store partner and a delivery partner. So you're able to perhaps choose Woolworths as in-store, Checkers as delivery if you choose to. And then they will, obviously, you'll get your 25 up to 75% cash back from there.
And that is also linked with your Checkers extra savings card. So if you have a Checkers extra savings that's linked to your ID number, it will automatically connect through, but you do need to have the Checkers card first.
Yeah, okay, absolutely brilliant. Thanks. And I don't know if whether you guys see the comments, because obviously you're showing the presentation, but that insured funder is just an absolute winner, guys. If you can go on that, it actually literally doubles your benefits every month. So I made a mention there. I just put 30,000 rands worth of tires on my car last week, and I didn't take out my wallet. What an absolute pleasure. So thanks for that.
Awesome.
Yay!
Positive feedback.
On that, the Checkers thing, you cannot generate a voucher to use on D-Day.
It's still Pick n Pay.
It's
And that's
potentially
something I just checked now.
It's potentially going to stay that way. So remember, miles partners and cashback partners can always be different.
Yeah.
So Pick n Pay will stay as the miles to spend miles. And at this stage, Checkers aren't going to be receiving miles for payment.
Why the change from Pick n Pay to Checkers?
I would be speculating, I think potentially demand in terms of the delivery, the Checkers 60/60 becoming extremely popular, but I would be speculating.
I also think that obviously Pick n Pay has been experiencing, I think, some financial possible troubles, if you can say it like that. But yeah, Checkers, I think the delivery is the biggest one.
But thanks, Zan. It's good to hear that we get it right. Noni was also complimenting us with her claims on our glasses. So we always tend to hear the bad stories. So I appreciate the good one. Thank you.
Just a pleasure. Thanks.
There's another one that you gave me, something D and something the other day.
Yeah, so Shirley D at dfc.discovery is linked to Shirley D at Discovery. So they both make their way to us. And we use one email address for the entire practice so that we can manage and make sure that all of the emails don't get lost and that you're receiving mails back that stay within our system. So yes, thanks, Meg. Just, yeah, Shirley D at discovery.co.za or DFC, whichever. Any other questions? Thank you so much for the time, the support. Please go and finish all of the road snacks. We are going on a road trip tomorrow and I can't afford to be eating all of the biscuits and the sweeties. So please make sure they're all gone. Have another drink with us. And again, thank you very much. Thanks, An. Take care.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for allowing us to dial in. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.